Welcome to A News. I'm Leila Masimwa. Here are the top stories for today. Hamas delays hostage release. Israeli protesters demand action. At least one dead, 4 injured after business jets collide at Arizona airport. The World Government Summit opens in Dubai in a record-breaking edition. Hamas says it will delay the release of Israeli hostages planned for Saturday. Citing Israeli violations over the ceasefire agreement, the decision has sparked protests in Tel Aviv as families of hostages call for urgent government action.
Hamas military wing announced it would halt the next phase of hostage releases, accusing Israel of obstructing aid deliveries, targeting Palestinians and delaying the return of displaced Gazans. This ceasefire in place since January 19 has held despite some incidents. In response, Israeli protesters gathered in Hostages Square in Tel Aviv, demanding that the government prioritize negotiations for the return of captives. Families of the hostages urged officials to ensure the deal continues without further delays.
Yeah. I don't care what they say. They all need to come home now. Every single person that doesn't belong there needs to come home now. Every single one of them. No need to delay, nothing. Send them all home. This is where they all belong. Every last one of them belongs here, every single person. All of the hostages, all of them. Not the ones that are supposed to come tomorrow or the next day. All of them now. This is where they belong. This is their home.
Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz rejected Hamas claims, saying the delay itself violates the agreement. He has instructed the military to maintain the highest level of readiness in Gaza. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed lawmakers in the Knesset, reaffirming Israel's commitment to securing the hostages' return. He warned that those responsible for harming captives would bear the consequences. Netanyahu also discussed Gaza's future, praising US President Donald Trump's proposal as a new revolutionary idea for post-war stability. While opposition lawmakers voiced criticism, the Prime Minister maintained that Israel's objectives remain unchanged, eliminating Hamas and ensuring security. Mediators from Qatar and Egypt warned that the ceasefire deal is at risk, with both sides trading accusations of violations. Talks on the second phase of the agreement remain stalled, raising uncertainty over the next steps.
US President Donald Trump says that if all the hostages held in Gaza are not returned by Saturday at noon, he will propose cancelling the Israel-Hamas ceasefire and says, in his own words, letting all hell will break out. Trump also says he might withhold aid to Jordan and Egypt if they don't take Palestinian refugees being relocated from Gaza.
Well, I would say this, and I'm going to let that be because that's Israel's decision, but as far as I'm concerned, if all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off and let hell break out. I'd say they ought to be returned by 12 o'clock on Saturday, and if they're not returned, all of them, not in drips and drabs, not 2 and 1 and 3 and 4 and 2, Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy what's happened, how people can be that mean to do.
At least one person has died and 4 people are injured after 2 aircrafts collided at an airport in Arizona. It happened Monday afternoon at Scottsdale Airport.
The runway at Scottsdale Airport in Arizona remains closed after a mid-sized plane and a parked aircraft collided Monday afternoon. Authorities say at least 1 person was killed and 4 people were injured.
Today, at approximately 14:39, we had a mid-size business jet, upon arrival, collide with another mid-size business jet that was parked on private property. Our runway is currently closed and will remain closed for the foreseeable future. We'll have more information on that as it is available.
Several people were trapped inside one of the aircraft, according to officials.
I can tell you that we have 5 souls, 1 DOA, 2 immediates that have been transported to local trauma centers, 1 delayed stable to a local hospital, and this is a still active scene. We're still working on extricating 1 soul out of one of the airplanes. I'm not going to answer any questions while this is an active scene that's going to be under investigation.
The crash comes amid heightened concerns over U.S. air safety. The National Transportation Safety Board are investigating 3 recent fatal incidents. A mid-air collision last week in Washington, D.C. that killed 67, a medical jet crash in Philadelphia that left 7 dead on late January, and a plane crash in Alaska that claimed 10 lives 3 days ago.
Hong Kong has announced it will file a formal complaint towards the World Trade Organization over recent U.S. tariffs. Authorities of the city argue that the measures violate international trade rules.
Hong Kong has taken its dispute with the United States' latest price hike on tariffs to the World Trade Organization. The move follows the recent decision by U.S. President Donald Trump to impose a 10% tax on goods from China. Chief Secretary Eric Chan criticized the move, saying it contradicts the World Trade Organization regulations.
This is absolutely inconsistent with the WTO, the rules. Of course, and also they have to totally disregard that Hong Kong is a separate customs territory. And we have and we will file a complaint with the WTO regarding this unreasonable arrangement.
He added that their postal services had been disrupted after the U.S. temporarily suspended shipments from Hong Kong before then reversing the decision. The suspension led to confusion among businesses and individuals who rely on cross-border deliveries.
The policies are mercurial. One moment they say tariffs are required. Recently they told us tariffs are not needed. This has caused significant inconvenience for our citizens.
While postal services have resumed, Hong Kong officials say the city will move forward with the WTO complaint. The dispute comes amid ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China.
U.S. President Donald Trump says he has ordered Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to stop production of the 1-cent coin, also known as a penny. Trump made his comment on his Truth social media account.
The U.S. cent, or penny, has been around since 1793, when the government first issued them, but now it's set to become a thing of the past. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that he asked the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to stop producing them. Trump made the announcement on his Truth social media account, claiming them as wasteful. He says they cost more than 2 cents to make. Since 1909, it has featured President Abraham Lincoln on its copper surface. However, the penny's relevance has been debated for years, with critics arguing it has outlived its usefulness and often ends up forgotten. Supporters say the penny helps stabilize prices and benefits charities. If eliminated, prices may be rounded off, simplifying transactions. This change could be a major shift in U.S. currency history.
U.S. Special Envoy for Ukraine and Russia, General Keith Kellogg, is set to visit Kyiv this week ahead of the Munich Security Conference. President Donald Trump confirms the visit, saying that U.S. officials are working on multiple issues related to Ukraine. He also says he expects to speak with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the coming days. Zelensky says members of Trump's team will arrive in Kyiv before the conference and says he will meet U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance in Munich. The discussions are expected to focus on the ongoing security cooperation and Ukraine's efforts to secure long-term U.S. support. A bus accident in Guatemala City has claimed the lives of at least 51 people after the vehicle veered off highway bridge and plunged into the ravine. Rescue operations are ongoing as authorities work to recover victims and provide aid to the survivors.
The accident occurred early Monday morning when a densely packed passenger bus travelling from San Agustin a Quetzalcoatl lost control and fell approximately 20 meters from Puente Belic, a major highway bridge connecting the region to Guatemala City. Authorities confirmed that the bodies of 36 men and 15 women have been recovered, while several passengers remain trapped in the wreckage. Emergency crews using specialized equipment are working to extract both victims and survivors from the scene.
Unfortunately, many passengers died instantly due to the severe trauma sustained as the bus fell and rolled. Their bodies were extracted and taken to a provisional morgue for identification.
Grief-stricken families have gathered, searching for loved ones among them. Jonathan Arriga, who lost multiple relatives in the accident, described the event as heartbreaking for the entire community.
Many people travel at that hour. I imagine that there were people from there who also got on that bus, and hopefully they did not face this regrettable situation. Guatemala is in mourning. It is an awful accident. They are hard-working people, so it is a very tough situation.
In response, Guatemalan President Bernardo Arevalo has declared 3 days of national mourning and deployed both the army and disaster relief agencies to assist with rescue and recovery efforts. Officials are now investigating the cause of the crash as the nation reels from one of the deadliest bus accidents in recent years.
The World Government Summit opens in Dubai, bringing together over 30 heads of state, 8 international organizations and 140 government delegations in a record-breaking edition. Under the theme Shaping Future Governments, the summit will run until February 13, focusing on governance, technology and economic trends. The opening day features key forums, including the Arab Fiscal Forum, Young Arab Leaders Forum and the Future of Government Communication Forum, addressing global challenges such as fiscal policy, artificial intelligence and sustainable development. With over 200 sessions and 300 global speakers, the summit aims to shape the future of governments and policy making worldwide. South Korea's Constitutional Court is reviewing the impeachment of President Yoon Suk-yeol. It's deciding whether to reinstate him or remove him permanently from office. It follows his martial law plan announcement he made on the 3rd of December. Key witnesses testified on Tuesday.
Suspended South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol attended a constitutional court on Tuesday as key witnesses testified. The court reviews his impeachment. Yoon was impeached on December the 14th for imposing martial law, allegedly without justification, on the 3rd of December. He claims it was only a warning. He remains in detention and also faces insurrection charges. Hundreds of supporters gathered calling for the motion to be overturned and are accusing the court of bias.
I came here hoping that it would be revealed that the President Yoon's martial law was legal and that he emphasized ensuring no one gets hurt.
I attended this rally today because the court is conducting trials in an extremely biased manner. To make it simple, I feel deeply frustrated as a citizen, which is why I decided to be here.
The trial began on December the 27th, with the court having up to 180 days to decide whether to remove or reinstate him. If removed, a new election must be held within 60 days. Yoon's fate now rests with the court amid rising political tensions.
Billionaire Elon Musk and a group of investors have submitted a $97.4 billion bid to acquire OpenAI, the artificial intelligence company behind ChatGPT. The offer was presented to OpenAI's board on Monday, according to the Wall Street Journal.
An investor group led by Elon Musk has offered $97.4 billion to acquire OpenAI, with Musk's attorney Mark Toberoff submitting the bid on his behalf. Musk, who co-founded OpenAI in 2015, left in 2018 after failing to gain control of the company. Since then, he has been a vocal critic of OpenAI's shift from a non-profit to a for-profit structure, arguing that the company abandoned its original mission of open-source AI development. Under CEO Sam Altman, OpenAI has grown into a $100 billion company, backed by major investors like Microsoft and venture capital firms. Musk has previously sued OpenAI, accusing it of prioritizing profits over safety, though OpenAI countered with evidence suggesting Musk had once supported the need for large-scale funding. In a statement provided by his attorney, Musk said the acquisition would ensure OpenAI returns to being a safety-focused force for good. OpenAI has not formally responded to the offer, and Reuters reports that the company declined to comment on the bid.
Shares in Chinese automaker BYD have surged. It's after the company announced plans to introduce advanced self-driving technology across nearly all of its vehicles. The move includes budget models priced under $10,000.
Carmaker BYD's shares have soared following the announcement that the company will equip nearly all its models with advanced self-driving technology. The Chinese automaker also revealed plans to integrate artificial intelligence software from domestic startup DeepSeek. It will join rivals such as Geely, Great Wall Motors and Leapmotor in leveraging AI-driven innovation. As Tesla's biggest competitor in China, the company's move has fueled speculation about a renewed price war in the electric vehicle sector. It will roll out its God's Eye autonomous driving system across at least 21 models, including the budget-friendly Seagull hatchback, which starts at just $9,500. The system features capabilities such as remote parking and autonomous highway navigation, technologies traditionally reserved for high-end vehicles. By comparison, Tesla offers similar features in its EVs, which start at $32,000. BYD says DeepSeek's AI integration will enhance self-driving performance while delivering a more personalized driving experience. China, the world's largest auto market, remains fiercely competitive with a prolonged price war among EV manufacturers vying for market dominance. In 2024, nearly 11 million electric and hybrid vehicles were sold in China, an increase of over 40% from the previous year.
The Aral Sea is showing signs of recovery with rising water levels, while the water loss in the Caspian Sea is raising regional concerns. Environmental experts warn over possible ecological disaster. Our Fariza Kalamurza has more on that.
The Aral Sea, located on the border of Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, continues to show signs of revival. According to Kazakhstan's Ministry of Water Resources and Irrigation, for the last 4 months, the northern Aral Sea received 1 billion cubic meters of water, which is 100 million cubic meters more than originally planned. In accordance with the agreement signed with the Central Asian countries, a total of 1.6 billion cubic meters of water will be supplied to the North Aral Sea by March 2025. Currently, the volume of water in the sea stands at 22.1 billion cubic meters, with expectations to reach 23.4 billion by the end of the year. As a result, the water salinity level has decreased and the populations of 22 fish species have been restored. Annual fishery volumes have reached 8,000 tons. Additionally, 4.4 million seedlings have been planted in the dried-up regions of the Greater Aral Sea as part of ongoing reclamation efforts. Kazakhstan now leads the International Fund for Saving the Aral Sea, with its leadership in the organization set to continue for the next 3 years. Meanwhile, environmentalists warn that after the loss of the Aral Sea, the world cannot afford to accept the same fate for the Caspian Sea. New data shows that its water levels are dropping rapidly. In Kazakhstan, the coastline has retreated by as much as 18 kilometers in certain areas, with the water level decreasing at an average rate of 70 centimeters per year. Satellite data reveals a concerning 7% decrease in the Kazakh sector of the Caspian Sea over the past 15 years. The Caspian Sea, the largest enclosed body of water in the world, is crucial for over 270 million people living in Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Iran, and Azerbaijan. Kazakhstan, already a water-deficient country with only 2.8% of its land covered by water, faces significant challenges. 2/3 of the country's territory is arid with limited access to water resources. Additionally, a large portion of Kazakhstan's water resources depends on neighboring countries. As the Caspian Sea continues to shrink, experts emphasize the urgent need for cooperative regional solutions to safeguard this vital water source and prevent an environmental crisis similar to the Aral Sea disaster. From Kazakhstan, Fariza Kalimurzina, A News.
Turkish authorities have deployed mobile siren systems in Izmir, Aydın and Muğla to alert coastal residents about potential tsunamis and other emergencies. It follows the ongoing seismic activity near Greece's Santorini island.
Turkey's Disaster and Emergency Management Authority deployed mobile sirens in Izmir, Aydın and Muğla after ongoing seismic activity near Greece's Santorini island. Since February 7th, the Aegean Sea has experienced 761 earthquakes exceeding magnitude 3. The frequent tremors raised concerns about a major earthquake, tsunami or volcanic eruption on Santorini. Disaster and Emergency Management Authority (AFAD) warned that fine volcanic ash from an eruption could spread through the wind, while a powerful earthquake could generate a tsunami affecting Turkey's coastline. AFAD officials held a Santorini Island seismic activity and risk management meeting to analyze the potential threats. After the meeting, they decided to set up early warning systems along the Aegean coast. AFAD placed mobile sirens in Izmir's Seferhisar district at Mustafa Kemal Atatürk Square. Additional sirens started operating in Aydın's Didim and Muğla's Dacha. Officials confirmed that the sirens will alert residents in case of a tsunami or another emergency requiring immediate action. In addition to the sirens, AFAD launched an SMS alert system to notify residents of potential dangers. The seismic activity forced changes to travel plans for tourists visiting Santorini. Authorities in both Turkey and Greece are closely monitoring the situation. Scientists are analyzing data to predict what may happen next, while emergency teams remain on standby to respond to any developments.
A remarkable piece of history has re-emerged along the border coastline in Turkey. The receding sea has unveiled a 3,500-year-old stone-paved road leading to Rabbit Island.
The ancient fortification road in Turkey's Bodrum has resurfaced as the sea receded. Recently captured by drone footage, the resurfaced road has sparked excitement among historians, archaeologists and tourists alike. As water levels dropped, the well-preserved remnants of the road became more visible, offering visitors a rare opportunity to walk in the footsteps of ancient traders, travelers and rulers. Historically, the King's Road was a vital connection for merchants and settlers moving between Mindos and other key locations in the region. The city of Mindos, founded in the 4th century BCE by Mausolus, the ruler of Caria, played a crucial role in maritime trade and military strategy. The newly revealed stretch of the road provides insight into ancient engineering and the once thriving coastal settlements of the Aegean. Beyond its historical significance, the site has become a major draw for tourism, with local authorities and experts emphasizing the need for preservation efforts. Archaeologists warn that increased foot traffic and exposure to natural elements could accelerate erosion, underscoring the importance of protective measures. For visitors to Bodrum, walking the King's Road is more than just a journey across ancient stones. It's a rare chance to step back in time and experience the echoes of a lost civilization.
One town in southern Peru was filled with tens of thousands of colorful dancers on Monday. They were taking part in the Virgen de la Candelaria festival, which was held in the city of Puno. The annual event dates back to the 16th century and draws upon Catholic traditions.
More than 40,000 dancers and musicians filled the streets of Puno in southern Peru. They're celebrating one of the most significant days of the Virgen de la Candelaria festival, which dates back to the 16th century. It starts at the beginning of February with a daybreak mass and then an ancient purification ceremony. The next day, the image of Virgin Mary is carried through the streets with a procession of traditional music and dancing with 40 folkloric groups. The celebration showcases traditional dances such as Morenada and Diablada. The event was recognized as an intangible cultural heritage by the United Nations in 2014 and attracts thousands of locals and tourists.
You are watching A News. Thank you for staying with us.